going to do a little video on bugle bead sizes for the overlapping technique. These are pretty much the range of bugle bead sizes that I use. And the Goldilocks zone, I would say, for the pieces that are small or medium is going to be the 6 millimeter by 1.5. Oops, that's hiding. And you can see it doesn't matter if they're loose or on a string. We can take them off a string if we need to. The 6 by 2, the 9 by 2, the 12 by 2. When you get to some of these larger sizes, we're probably not going to be covering a really large item. So you're welcome to use them, but just know they might, on a smaller piece, they're going to look a little awkward and chunky. These really big ones I used on the fawn test. I will post a picture of that one. And I actually broke some of them in half to have a more irregular feel to the fur. These guys are really a little bit too long to use unless you're using a very large form of substrate. So the Goldilocks zone right through here for sizes. As far as how many you should get, I did measure a square inch of work using the 6 mm by 1.5, and these are Miyukis, by the way, these two, and this one as well, and I get these from Caravan Beads. The colors are fab. But for a 6 by 1.5 millimeter, I was using about 100 per square inch, and I don't really have a calculator for figuring all of these out. I could try to come up with something, but that's a guide to start. So this particular size, 1 inch, I'd used about 100 of them, 90 to 100, something like that. And it also depends on how much action you want with the beads. If you want the bugles to kind of be sticking straight up like it's fur in the wind, kind of being caught in the wind, or if you want everything to be flat, that really contributes to needing more or less bugle beads, depending on how you want to use them. In general, I do about a half of an overlap, meaning that, let's say, I'm going to use one of these are twisted bugles. I did a dog named, I think it was called Wonder Boy, and I posted a video on our private page, and it showed me applying some of these beads. And with these guys, or it's probably in general, I overlap it about a half. So you're going to see about a half of it. I don't know what, oh, it's out of focus, but half is going to be underneath and then half on top when I overlap. So these little guys, I have used these before, these 3 mm's. They're very hard to use because the ratio between how wide they are and how long is so short that they just tend to be kind of stubby and stick up. They are usable, but they're not. They're trickier to use, and they look a little bit more awkward when you're using them. Also, I wanted to bring up, if you look at this guy right here, this is a silver line, and this is a beautiful purple color. They have just a beautiful colors. Some of the Miyukis I just love. But if it's not a color that coats all the way through, like this one, it has an AB coating on it, but and don't worry if you don't know what AB means, but it's the color is all the way through the glass, so that when you are they're slippery little suckers, so that when you're overlapping with these, if you see the end of the bead at all, it's going to look like it matches the fur, whereas these little purple ones that are kind of more silver lined, you're going to see that blunt end sticking up at times, and it's going to look silver. It's just going to not be quite the consistency of color that you might want. And down here, a lot of these are vintage. And so they're very regular in size. Some of them are, this is 3, it might be 2.5. Just know that if you're using vintage, the sizes are a little bit irregular. So this is just a really basic guide for right now. I am going to post some pictures of work that I have done and show you what sizes I used as far as the bugles went. If you need more information before you order from Shipwreck, if you're trying to get the sale that ends on Monday, just let me know. But for now, I just want to show you just a little bit of my bugle bead palette. And if you are planning on using the bugle beads in a line like this, you get them when they're strung. It's if you want that kind of linear effect where they're just rows of them next to each other, then you do want to get them strung because it's a lot easier. Okay, over and out. It's a beautiful day out there.